There we go, everybody. Welcome in to the Mainline Sports Bar. We are here at Oaklawn, having a great time as you are watching 4th and 5. It's time to get into it. We got the whole crew here. Myself, you got Grant Cook, Matt Harris, Josh Throne, and obviously a big shout out to Matt Harris, who today is his anniversary. He is in the car with his wife right now. Y'all remember Matt came down here not too long ago, and we gave him all the praise because his wife just finished her last round of chemo, and so she rang the bell, and now they're on their 7th-year anniversary. I told Matt, I was like, Matt, just go do your thing. He says 4th and 5 is our family, all right? So go. She's in the driver's seat, all right? Matt's safely in the passenger seat. So before we get this round robin, also we got Josh with us up in Fayetteville. Grant's with us in Fayetteville as well. Matt screen just went black. I wonder what it's their anniversary. They can do whatever they want. The shot will come back here in a second. But fellas, before we get into things, I'm gonna let everybody know what we have on tap here today. A lot of film breakdown. A lot of people want to know exactly what happened in the Arkansas Razorback game. Well, first of all, it was a beatdown that everyone knew was coming. By everyone, I know me and everyone here on 4th and 5. But yes, there's still a lot on tape. The big matchup is coming up this week. Ole Miss. We need to know exactly what we need to expect from this game. Can we go on the road and potentially go 3-0, then go to Memphis, go 4-0, then Notre Dame comes to Fayetteville with the potential to have an undefeated team at that point taking on Notre Dame. I think there is potential there. So very excited to see what is coming up. So before we get into all of that, not only are we going to have film breakdown on Arkansas's game, I'm also going to do some film breakdown on Ole Miss so you know what to expect. And I'm telling you, when you watch this tape, you may be like, okay, Arkansas may have a nice little chance. We'll check in with Matt here in a second. But, Grant, I'll go ahead and get your 2 cents. What are your overall thoughts on that matchup Saturday at War Memorial Stadium?
Yeah, I mean, we did what we were supposed to do. And, you know, when we talk about this age-old we're running from Arkansas State and so on and so forth, that's not what it was, right? And I think we finally showed, okay, here it is, guys. Y'all want it, you got it, here we go. But no, I think going to the Arkansas, just the team overall, I think we played with a totally different vibe, a totally different tenacity on both sides of the ball, and it showed up on the scoreboard. Super excited to see the offensive line come together, play extremely well, but really top to bottom, every position. Not a whole lot to point out that was just like, what are you doing? This is terrible, so on, right? I mean, it was a really good effort by Arkansas and a good tune-up for us going into Oxford this Saturday.
Tune-up indeed, Josh. I know we were all there in person. You and I are from Little Rock. Grant Cook actually from Jonesboro, all right? And so he knows about this that matchup all too well, at least the anticipation of it. But, Josh, what do you think about that matchup Saturday?
We're talking about the previous matchup, right?
Correct.
Okay, yeah. Well, we talked about in the post game.
Welcome to the show.
Yeah. I've been trying to do a lot over here. I've had a lot of technical difficulties. If you couldn't tell what was going on with my eyes, but no, I thought that we did what we were supposed to do. We talked about this in the post game, week 1 versus week 2. I thought, hey, we came in, did our job, beat them how an SEC team is supposed to beat them. I celebrated already, DJ. I'm done celebrating that. Right now, I want to see those improvements that you're going to be talking about later on today, showcase against Ole Miss, because Lane Kiffin is no joke. He's got a staff that's going to be prepared, and we saw what they did last year. They can score, so I'm excited to see what we do. So, hey, I love the way we won. We did what we were supposed to do, but I'm putting that behind me now. No more celebrating. I'm moving on to Ole Miss.
Moving on to Ole Miss, and let's go ahead and bring back in Matt Harris, who was on the road dealing with some signal issues. I'm trying to bring him back in. I see him in our little backstage. I tell you, man, when it comes to connection issues in 4th and 5, man, we've been struggling, especially on Saturdays.
We got that part figured out, DJ.
Yeah.
We know how to not get connected.
Yeah, we got that figured out. So Matt's on the road once again. I think he's going to struggle. It looks like he's traveling to celebrate his 7 years with his beautiful wife, Katie, and he still wanted to be a part of the show. I tried to give him the night off, but he's committed. I may have to man. We may have to roll without Matt. Matt, I'm sorry, man. Thanks for trying, okay? So let's get into what we have for today. I want to give y'all a list of what is coming up with 4th and 5 so y'all can keep track all week. And I'm going to start with you, Grant. What do you got coming up Tuesday for us?
Yeah, so Tuesday we're going to break down last week's game, show a little bit of love to the big boys up front. It was a really good game played, really, really tenacious in the run game, a lot of attitude that we talked about the prior week that I didn't see. They brought it this week and kept Talon clean all game. Really love to see it. Give him time to throw the ball. And like you've talked about, DJ, if you give him time, he is a really, really good quarterback, and he's starting to make the right decisions. I think he's starting to see as well what the defense is trying to do and put the offensive line in a position to be successful. So really exciting stuff. We're going to break it down and just talk about a little bit of what we can expect from Ole Miss too next week.
Matt Harris, he's not with us, but he's going to be on the defensive side of things, breaking down a defense that's only given up 2 touchdowns all year long. And I know y'all said, wait a minute, there's 14 points in that game and 7 before. We don't count that kickoff return. We'll talk about that and address that here in a little bit. So Matt will have your defensive breakdown. That will be Thursday, okay? So stay tuned for Thursday night for Matt's defense, getting defensive with Matt Harris. But the big thing is we want to know about who we're playing. That's where Josh comes in. Like I said, when it comes to research, he's up there with some of the best of them. Josh, what you going to have for us coming up Friday?
DJ, I know you've been looking into it already because almost immediately after our game on Saturday, we were talking about, all right, you were trying to settle me down, but we were talking about Ole Miss. Listen, Lane Kiffin is going to have this team ready. Offensive coordinator Charlie Weiss Jr. is another guy who likes to throw the ball and put things in the air. They're coming into this game with a lot of confidence after they beat us last year. That's just going to be the reality of the situation. They're probably, pretty happy about that 30-23 win over Kentucky, but quarterback Austin Simmons, I think he was a little banged up. He had to get some things taped on the sideline, but they probably expect him to be out there as well. I don't think they've given any indication that he's not going to be playing this weekend. So they've always got a quarterback. They've always got a quarterback, and they're always able to put the ball in there. So I'm excited to dive in a little bit deeper because on Friday we'll have a scouting report, and I know, DJ, you've already got some stuff broken down for everybody to look at today, right?
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. So we're going to dig into Ole Miss a little bit more. And you talk about that quarterback struggled, y'all. You're going to see stuff on tape where you're going to be like, Arkansas may mess around, go down to Oxford and win this game at 6 p.m.
Yeah.
We'll go ahead and brush through all that. But I'm about to let y'all go. Before we go, though, it's our first Monday Night Football. We want to let a lot of people know if you're looking for a spot, especially here in the Spa City, to watch some Monday Night Football, you should see the Mainline Sports Bar. I lost count. Zach, how many TVs are in here? Do you know? No, it's not. Seriously? Yes, over under how many TVs in here? Grant, go with you first.
I'm going to go, well, if you're setting the line, I'll go 35.
Josh?
42.
95. Come on, what are we doing?
Oh,
Mainline
my
Sports Bar.
gosh.
Yeah, I couldn't believe it. I'm going to have to go around and count here in a little bit. Yeah, that's pretty impressive here at the
That's great.
Mainline Sports Bar. But let's go ahead and get into our picks, okay? So let me go ahead and bring this up for everybody. So big game tonight. We got the Minnesota Vikings taking on the Chicago Bears, division rivals. There was a division matchup Sunday with the Packers and the Lions, and the Packers absolutely dismantled the Lions. My girlfriend really sad about that. She's a Lions fan. It was just kind of messed up since I played at Green Bay, but it's cool, boo. I still love you. Isaac Tesla, though, did y'all see that catch he had? Oh, my gosh. ESPN top 10. What are we doing?
Jr.
Yeah, that's what it looked like. So let's go and take a look at what's on the board first. Matt, he's not here, but his pick for tonight, he's going with the Vikings to win this game, and he wants the under. Okay, he thinks both these teams' points combined is going to be under 43.5 points. Up next, I'll go ahead and let you explain, Josh, your pick here tonight.
I've got the Vikings to win. I'm expecting J.J. McCarthy to pull out some magic, right? This is a rare Monday night start for this guy. Probably his first. I don't know. But I'm expecting them to win, and I'm taking the over as well. I think there's going to be enough points scored.
All right, Grant, what we got? What we working with, man?
Yeah, so I'm going to take the Vikings as well, but I'm going to take the points, okay? Or I'm going to not take the points, I guess. I think they'll win by more than a 1.5, so 2 points or more. And I'll take the over as well. Jetta Jefferson, I think he's going to have a big night tonight. J.J. McCarthy's going to be a good safety blanket for him. So we'll see. Got my bet locked in on the Oaklawn app, by the way. So
Did you say Jenna Jefferson?
Jetta.
Oh, Jetta. Okay.
Jetta, man. Come on, man. You got to get it. You got to get with the program, DJ.
It's 2025. I was just making sure. I didn't know what was going on. All right. And real quick before we move on, people here at Mainline and people watching online, please hop in the comment section. I need y'all to help me get with Grant and take a headshot. So we had to actually, we had to AI his photo because he doesn't have a headshot. Okay, so that was about a good hour of work with me, maneuvering the tie to get it tight. Tried to get the beard line straight. Brushed up his face a little bit. Actually made him smile in this photo. Okay, I actually don't think it's too bad of work, but we're gonna figure out
I like
a
it.
headshot. It ain't bad. It ain't bad.
It's good.
Very professional.
Good.
Yeah. We may just keep it. You know what? All right, I'm going to go ahead and get to my pick. I got the Vikings in this one, too. I'm taking them on the money line, okay? I don't want the spread. I just straight up Vikings winning. And I think defense kind of shows up. I'm going to go under 43.5. All right, so those are our picks, but we'll talk more about what is to come when it comes to Monday Night Football. We got Zach Gillum with Oaklawn here with us. We'll talk about that here in a little bit and what's on the board for the Arkansas game. Fellas, I appreciate y'all. Y'all have a good night. We'll see y'all a little bit later in the week. All right, y'all. It's time to go ahead and get to business. It's all about that breakdown. We got to go ahead and start talking about it. Arkansas, what did we see on tape? Well, I know what we saw in person. We saw 56 points, only 14 given up, really only 7. A really strong performance, over 600 total yards of offense. What are we talking about? What is there to critique? Y'all know how I am, all right? I'm on this search for an unrealistic expectation of perfection, and I'm aware of that, okay? But I think if we start focusing on these small things, it will be the difference between a team that just kind of hangs out from here or there and a team who is serious about business and start making some really big impact in winning a lot of football games in the toughest conference in America, okay? So let's go ahead and hop into this film, and I want to make sure all y'all remember, if you want to be a part of the show, please feel free. The chat room is open, and we got a lot of people already in it, okay? So send in any questions you have, and I will check in with those a little bit later in the show. But let's go ahead and start and get into this film. And let me blow this one up just a little bit bigger. There we go. Okay, so for the very first play of the game, okay, you couldn't ask for a better start. The first drive of the game was 2 plays and led to a touchdown, all right? 2 plays. You can't beat it, right? So you see right here, Omega Blake's coming in the shallow. Talon does a great job throwing him, leading him, not throwing it behind him, and a good first pickup, okay? So this is where sometimes people get on to me. DJ, just let it be, okay? It's a good first play, and I'm thinking that's great because we score on the next one, but we could have had a touchdown on the very first play of the game, okay? You don't believe me? Let me go ahead and show you how, all right? These are things that I know when I played, and most teams do this. We have something called the first 8. Some of it's 10, some of it's 4. It's a script that we go over all week in practice. So we know when we take the field on offense, these will be the first plays that we run no matter what. Now, if something crazy happens, you have to adjust, but that way we can play fast. We know what's coming. It helps the team try to get an advantage to get in a clean start without thinking about what to do. We already know what's coming. So I understand why Talon threw this ball, but I think what would be special if Talon starts seeing stuff and he thinks, okay, maybe Coach Petrino told me to do this, but I see something, I'm going to go ahead and take a shot. And if it doesn't work out, I'm just going to get my butt chewed later. I don't know if we're there yet. So go ahead, once again, take a look at this play. As he comes in motion, all right, I want you to take a look at what he should be reading. Okay, so quarterbacks, when they snap, they should be identifying the defense. And the way they do that, you have to scan the field and look at the secondary, okay? So you're looking for the safeties. The safeties give really great indicators of what the coverage is. Usually if the safeties are outside those hashes that you see in the middle of the field, good indicator of cover 2. If you have one in the middle of the field, it's usually an indicator of a good potential that it's going to be man-to-man coverage, okay? And so what you see here is this safety completely off the hash. But if you look to the other side of the field, there's really not much going on. You got this safety who's actually down here playing some man-to-man coverage. And as we let this play kind of go on, watch this develop. And then as it moves on even more, this safety still all the way on the opposite hash. And so what does that do? It opens up the middle of the field with zero protection, okay? And if you look at the top of your screen, when I go forward, look at this guy. Wide open, no one behind him, beats his guy. Should be an easy throw and catch for a touchdown out the gate. Now, I will not complain about a 30-yard pickup on first down. But I know sometimes we need to get to a point when the defense messes up, we have to take advantage of the opportunities that they give us, all right? I think this is good learning tape. I think Talon's not expecting for Arkansas State to bust on the very first play of the game. I did. But, it is what it is. So we'll move forward. I just really kind of like looking at those things, opportunities to have some big-time impactful plays. But you can't be mad because we scored the very next play. And I'm going to let Grant talk a little bit more about this in his breakdown come Tuesday because he's the offensive line guy. But we were talking about this already. This is a perfectly blocked play across the board. We couldn't find one thing wrong with this play. Great play call, great execution, physicality across the board. But if you take a look right now, this is Corey Robinson. See him looking at this guy? He wants right now to blow him up. And what he's about to do is very difficult for an offensive lineman to do. He sees that receiver getting that block. Most offensive linemen will just say, you know what? I'm just going to barrel into this and just blow this guy up. But he passes up color. It's very hard for them to do that because he could have a kill shot on this guy right now. But he passes up that color, and he takes his eyes upfield. And now you're like, okay, now here's the hard part. Corey Robinson's about 300-plus pounds. This little DB is extremely fast. Look at the space in between the two. It's extremely difficult to get that block. This is where Mike Washington, the running back, is exceptional. He does a great job pushing forward first. What that does is brings him to Corey Robinson, and he just lets Corey Robinson run straight. So he makes sure that he puts this DB in his path, and then Corey Robinson takes care of the rest. I mean, blew him up. Give me a little chatter. I'm okay with a little talk right there. I like that. That was such a cool play to watch. Grant Cook's going to break it down a little bit more when it comes to everything else that happened in that play. All right, let me go and get to the next play right here. Once again, another great job for Talon, still making the right decision. But once again, I really want him to do a little bit better job of scanning the field. Okay, so he's going to end up throwing it to the drag route coming across, which is cool. But when you start looking at everything else, the defense is just busting all over the place. You got two receivers completely unaccounted for. This is where you start thinking, maybe I still get the shallow route, but I need to go to the sideline afterwards and start having a conversation with coach like, hey, are you seeing what I'm seeing? I'm just making sure because later down the road, we can start taking advantage of the defense that's out of place, okay? So, no, I don't expect him to see that. I'm perfectly fine with him making that throw right there. But I think that's information you take to the sideline and start dialing up some big-time plays and say, hey, coach, they're messing up over there. Let's go ahead and sneak one in on them. All right, you got pressure coming off the edge right here. And I'll be honest, I'm not sure who's supposed to block him. I don't know if it's an offensive line mishap. I don't know if the running back just kind of teases and get it out. But you're going to see some stuff develop. And the reason I wanted to point this out, because right now, all the plays I've watched, y'all, we have an offensive coordinator who is unbelievable. He has not missed on one play yet. And it's almost like he knows what the defense is doing. It's crazy. I mean, he calls the perfect play to the perfect coverage in the perfect front. It's almost like he's cheating, but he just knows football that well. So this blitz comes off the edge. I'm not sure who's supposed to pick it up. But as I go back right here, watch this play develop, okay? If he has time and this is picked up, I don't know if it's going to be from the running back who's right there in front of him or if we just got some jumbled up stuff on the offensive line. But I really like the way that this play's developed. Oops. Let me get back to I lost my thing. Here we go. Watch this guy. He clears this out, okay? Then you have the running back in this flat, okay? And that's going to open up a really big window on this backside for this tight end coming over. You'll see him right here slowly start making his way over. And you see that window open up? If he doesn't get this pressure right now, perfect play call. And so, yes, we'll brush up the protection, but I just want to give a shout-out to Coach Petrino because when you start playing teams like Ole Miss and stuff, the film that I watched earlier, they have tendencies. And as much as I think I can see him, Petrino knows them 1,000 times better than I do. He's going to have a really good game plan going up against Ole Miss. But you got players open all over the field, which was very encouraging to see. We have to brush that up front. See, you got all this jumbled up. You got 6 players right now in protection, and they're only bringing 4. Good film to learn from. Great job, honestly, by Talon not taking a sack right here and getting that ball out without having an intentional grounding. All right, let's go ahead and keep this thing moving along, getting to the next play. Another shot right here. This is where I think Talon sometimes I'm very curious about what he's looking at. I would love to get in his helmet. From the video, it looks to me like I know what's going on, okay? So if he's keying this middle linebacker, right? Whenever this guy sits and he takes over the short route, which is Omega Blake, look at the guy in the red. It's essentially opening up for this seam route. Talon just needs to make his decisions a little bit faster. Even on a lot of his completions, he can get away with them from now. But if he just pulls the trigger just a smidge faster, he's going to take his game to the next level. Because I think when we start playing Ole Miss, we play LSU, we got Texas on the road, Tennessee's on our schedule. The time is going to be much faster of getting this ball out. And this would have been a great opportunity to kind of work these reps and just trust yourself, okay? I'll go back right here one more time. I skipped that one. But you see, if he can get this ball out right now, I mean, if you take a little bit closer look, I'll try to zoom in for you. I mean, this DB, oh, how do I zoom that up? I'm sorry, y'all. Let me get there. There we go. He's facing the completely wrong direction. Another opportunity to have a really good shot right here on a 3rd and 4 and get this thing converted. Now, he scrambles. He does what Talon does. Great throw, great strike. Here we go again. Sometimes I need us to really hone this in. He's eyeing it down. I want that ball out right now. You know, right now he's thinking about it. But, you know, we get a missed block up front. Just the simple fact that he's able to get out as fast as he is he's an amazing athlete. Now, this is what scares me, okay? He's looking downfield. He feels good about it. But in the SEC, that's an interception, okay? You got some DBs who are going to be making a lot of money on Sundays in the SEC, and they got some good ones at Ole Miss right now. I think that's just too much time to react to this. It's a very dangerous throw when you're throwing across your body back across the field. Now, the thing about him is he just happened to throw the most perfect ball. There's nowhere else you can put this for it to be a completion. So for him to be successful on this play, he has to be perfect, okay? Which is a lot to ask, even though I ask for it like every single time I break down a clip. But that's a close one right there. Great catch by C.J. Brown, taking a hit and moving the chains. Okay, pick up here on this 1st and 10. Another play right here. This is something that really worries me week 1 and a lot last year. We do that read option dilly with Talon quite a bit, okay? And sometimes it just seems like he's not making his decision there fast enough either. Perfect job this game. I mean, he was key in that defensive end. You can tell they worked out on him in practice. We have to figure this out because if we can do this and have a guy like Mike Washington, Braylon Russell, with the explosiveness of Talon Green, and we get better and more consistent with this read option, I mean, the running attack is going to be dynamic and almost unstoppable, okay? So he does a great job. That defensive end is really not picking who to go to right now. So he does a great option, hands this ball off. And I'll give a shout out to that D-back for A-State right there. Let me go back right. This is a big dude coming downhill. Okay, A-State. I'll give you a little love right here. So once again, remember those conversations I was talking about with these seam routes and Talon having the ability now to go back to the sideline being like, hey, coach, I know what we're coached to do, but I'm telling you what I'm seeing. Coach Petrino's seeing it too. And I really like the adjustments in game. You don't have to wait till the halftime to make these adjustments, especially with a guy like Coach Petrino. But you need a quarterback who can understand, okay, this was the game plan. This is what we're seeing. We got to switch it up a little bit. I think we have an opportunity to make something happen. Great job right here identifying the safety once again in no man's land. He goes over to the right side of the field, not even carrying to the middle of the field. I don't know who the defensive coordinator is at A-State, but I know his voice is probably worn out from yelling at his kids watching tape because it was just awful coverage in the secondary. I don't know how else to put it. But look at this wide open to Raylan Sharp. Great job by Talon Green. Now, this is really cool, y'all. I'm a big Marvel fan. I like all my Marvel superheroes. Look at this celebration right here. Ooh, a little Spider-Man action right there. That's pretty cool right there. I don't know if he's trying to be called Spider-Man. This is pretty cool, Raylan Sharp. Kudos to you. Big fan of Marvel, big fan of Peter Parker, Miles Morales, whatever you like. All right. I thought that was pretty fun. They're having a good time dancing in the end zone. Once again, great shot. Once again, Talon doing a good job throwing it to his receivers so they can catch it in stride. You're going to see some tape with Ole Miss here in a little bit where he's throwing behind his receivers a lot. Our DBs have an opportunity to potentially get a lot of interceptions at Oxford down at 6 p.m. kickoff in the Grove. All right, here we go. This is the point where I was just like, what are we doing? Okay, why are we letting A-State think they have hope in this game? All right, special teams coverage, okay? It's pretty simple. Every man matters, okay? And you just have to know your role, stay in your lane, and for the most part, unless you're playing like a Devin Hester or, that guy from LSU, Trenton Holiday, this ain't Trenton Holiday. Now, this is a good returner. I'll give him that. Look at this angle my guy right here, 49, is taking to the ball. He's already running to the sideline. I mean, he's giving this guy so much respect for his speed. You would think he's Usain Bolt out there. I mean, he's like, oh, I got to get over there. He needs to insert himself into this lane right here. You can literally see the picture. I mean, that's the space you need to take up. But him taking that bad angle allows this back to give me a nice little right there. He cuts it back. Now, I know it seems like a big play, but that's just a coachable thing. Like, the coach is watching. They're like, hey, what are you doing? We probably go over this every single day in practice. Just stay in your lane. They don't get a kickoff return right there. Another great concept right here. I'm going to talk about getting that ball out just a little bit faster. They end up throwing that curl route. The curl route is this. You can't see my mouse on there. Yeah, you can see my mouse on there. Yeah, that's going to be the curl route for you right there, okay? So let's go ahead and see what this looks like. We got to read this defender, okay? Taylor, let me see your eyes, okay? See that defender come in just a little bit? And as we keep going, look at where he is right now, okay? He's not making his mind up. He wants him to take this flat over here. He wants him to come down. He's not making his mind up. If he doesn't move, just throw it out to the flat and let Braylon Russell catch it with plenty of space and turn it upfield. But he's expecting him to move because that's how the play is designed. This is where, like, great job with your progression, great play call, but sometimes you can account for guys not doing what they're supposed to do. He's supposed to go into the flat, but this defender is not. When those things happen, this is where I want to see Taylor Green take it to the next level of, like, I know the coverage. That guy's not where he's supposed to be. Let me throw it to option number 2. He's locked down on number 1 just based off the coverage because that's where the ball's supposed to go. Now, he sneaks it in there, a great catch, but I think in the SEC, those windows are going to be a lot tighter. Once again, we get back to that read option. Taylor doing his thing yet again. Great job with the read. This defensive end crashes down, and then Taylor Green takes care of the rest. I keep forgetting how fast this guy. He has like Matt Jones speed. Now, Omega Blake, what are we doing? All right, tighten up. You don't need to. Could you imagine if they would have threw a flag right here? Oh, my gosh. A block that you don't even need to make. I'm going to give you a pass because you've been balling out lately, but this will come back and haunt us, Omega. And I know they're telling you that in the film room too. Just got to be smart, got to be careful. Now, that would have been awful if that came back. I'm glad they didn't throw the flag because he would have scored without that block or not. Another one right here, Braylon Russell. So I'm very curious. I'm going to keep my eye on him because, you know, he had all that offseason in the portal, coming back, doing all that. He's been doing a phenomenal job. I love what him and Mike Washington have been able to do. You got the big speed back. Then you got Braylon Russell, who's big, strong. He stops his momentum right here, but he keeps his eyes downfield, shoulder pads over knees, and then he finds the open spot. And this is where Braylon's going to come big time because when you put stuff like this on film, DBs are Ole Miss. They're like, yeah, I do not want to hit that guy. Linebackers, please make sure he doesn't get to the secondary because this is what will happen. Look at this hit right here. Just, truck stick. Runs him over. I mean, that guy I think he looks like he's planted inside the field right now. I mean, that's a hard blow. I didn't really take a close look at that earlier today. Is he okay? We need to maybe check on him. Call A-State. But when you put stuff like that on film, it really does go a long way. So Braylon Russell, great job. And what I like even better, look at that ball security, okay? A lot of backs, when they get in traffic, the ball gets a little loose. He has that thing high and tight. I mean, great run by Braylon Russell, taking on hits, getting into that end zone. Fun stuff right there. Okay, let's go and get to our first stopping point. I got much more in this breakdown to talk about. On the other side, we're going to talk a little bit more a drive at the end of the game, which will be our Southwest Auto drive of the game, and a little bit more on Taylor Green moving forward. Like I said, so many things that I saw on tape that I'm excited to point out. So stay with us. We're going to have more 4th and 5 here on the other side right after this break.
Razorbacks, Red Wolves, families divided, but united in our love for Arkansas. At Ortho Arkansas, we are proud to care for all Arkansans. Whether you're chasing kids in the backyard, cheering from the tailgate, or competing on the field, our orthopedic experts are here when you need us most. Because no matter your team, we're all on the same side of health. Ortho Arkansas, with you every step.
Oaklawn Sports is so simple to use, anyone can do it. Probably even an ex-football player.
And you can take it anywhere. Pocket size, sort of like you, Raj.
Small perhaps, but powerful, like this offer.
Sign up now for Oaklawn Sports and get up to $1,000 in bonus bets.
That's like a do-over in case you make a questionable decision.
Too bad they can't do that for haircuts.
I'm calling your mom.
Now with new and easy funding options. Bet with the brand you trust. Bet with Oaklawn Sports.
Southwest Auto Collection in Arkadelphia isn't just another car lot. It's a whole new way to buy a vehicle. Built for comfort, designed for convenience. No pushy sales, just friendly faces, honest answers, and a place that feels more like home than a dealership. Because buying a car shouldn't feel stressful, it should feel simple. One of the biggest perks to buying here at Southwest Auto Collection is we have a Tires for Life program. So as long as you get your service done here, we'll replace your tires completely for free with regular wear and tear up to 200,000 miles. So come on down to see us at 1451 North 10th Street in Arkadelphia, Arkansas. Southwest Auto Collection, a better way to buy, right here in Arkadelphia.
Your day with Roger Scott, David Basil, and country music star Justin Moore. The Zone with award-winning journalist Justin Acree and former Hog DJ Williams. Afternoons with Out of Bounds, hosted by Wes Moore and Joe Franklin. And on your way home, it's Drive Time Sports with Randy Rainwater and Rick Schaefer. 103.7 The Buzz is your fun and game station. Live and local all day. 103.7 The Buzz.
Football season is back, and 4th and 5 is ready to give you the best coverage that you can find when it comes to Razorback football. At home games, we're going to be live 2 hours before kickoff at the Alumni House. Everything from breakdown, strategy, taking a look at the analysis for the weeks before, even taking a look into the opponents that we're playing as well. So many questions surrounding each and every moment of the game. 4th and 5 is going to be your one-stop shop to have you covered. Also, too, make sure you're joining us in all of our live shows. Monday night with that breakdown live from Oaklawn at the Mainline Sports Bar. Wednesday night viewer comments. And then Friday night, we're going to pick our high school game of the week. And then, once again, circle it back around to Razorback football. The thing that separates us is we call it how we see it. Not mean, just fair and honest. Make sure you subscribe on all of our social media platforms and be a part of this growing community. 4th and 5, keeping it real, calling it like we see it. No, 4th and 5, giving you everything you need when it comes to Razorback football, but keeping it honest. No, that's not good either. 4th and 5, the state's best. Oh, no, I'm not there yet. We're working on it. 4th and 5, your go-to channel for your... You know what? We'll cross that bridge later. Can y'all just subscribe, and we'll figure out the tagline later. All right. See y'all later. I tell you, it's beautiful here at Mainline Sports Bar. $12 steak night. Oh, man, I'm not making it up. $12 steak night. Get seasoned veggies, mashed potatoes, giving away food. I do want to give a quick shout out to one of our sponsors over here in Arkadelphia, not too far from here, having a great time with Southwest Auto. I got a good deal for everybody. What we got going on, DJ? What about a Ford F-350? Look at that thing, looking good. $17,000 off MSRP. I talked to my crew this morning. They got one left. So take advantage of it now. Once again, that is Southwest Auto Collection in Arkadelphia. Stop by, tell them DJ sent you. Get a nice little truck. Say little truck. That's big dog truck right there. All right, everybody, let's go ahead and get back into it as we're going to take another look at that breakdown, pick up where we left off. And that is... where are we at? This is going to be, first of all, how long was that first half? Good night. And I want to give a second right now to apologize for our live stream pregame show. We were having some technical difficulties. I don't know if y'all went to the game in Little Rock. Getting a connection was extremely difficult. I felt bad until I realized ESPN couldn't even get their show up. They had technical difficulties as well. So we're going to have a clean show. We're actually going to be in Oxford this weekend. We're set up at a bar right off of the Grove 2 hours before kickoff. So if you're heading down to Oxford for that game and you want a nice little spot to pregame, you can hang out with us at 4th and 5. It should be a fun time with that. All right, let's go ahead and get back to this breakdown once again. Pick it up. Where are we at? Still first quarter. It's still going to be about reads all again, okay? Let's go ahead and take a look at the read we got right here. So this is actually going to be Taylon Green's interception. This is fascinating, okay? Sometimes picks happen, interceptions happen. It's just a part of football. But I admit on this one, I'm going to give a little tough love to Taylon Green. This was avoidable, and I'm not sure what we're looking at on this one. So this is Raylan Sharp, okay? He's in the slot right here, okay? And so what he is going to do, he's going to run in and try to grab this defender's attention, okay? So watch him go in right here. He grabs him, and then he goes back out, okay? This is where Taylon Green has a decision to make, okay? So Taylon Green right now, you can see him. He's looking that way. He's eyeing this guy. Are you going to take the bait? Are you going to take it? Because if you do, I got Omega Blake coming in right behind you, and then that's where the ball goes, okay? But watch this defender. He ain't going nowhere. Still right there. At this point, Taylon needs to get the ball out to the flat where Raylan Sharp is. He's right in the middle of the SEC logo, okay? Because now the time's ticking. SEC, you're not going to have that much time in the pocket. You got to help out your offensive lineman. That guy just sits right there. Get that ball to Raylan Sharp, but he throws it. And I know he sees him. You got to see him right there, right? I hope he sees him. Me and Josh got into a big-time argument about this. He says he didn't see him. I said, that's the problem. You have to see these guys, okay? I know it sounds like tough love, but I promise you he's feeling the same way about this. So that was very interesting for me to try to figure out what was going on right here because just the concept itself. He gets in a nice little interception right here. Now, when this happens, okay, Omega Blake, I'm going to get you a little bit right here, okay? Interception. We got a chance to come up and try to, maybe strip the ball out from behind, try to get it back. Omega Blake, I'm going to have to call you out a little bit right here. Y'all see him right here on your screen. This is when receivers usually come out and try to get a big kill shot right here. Try to get that ball out. See if we can make a wrong or right. Tell me if you think this is effort, okay? When it comes to thinking about yourself right here, do I want contact or do I not? Am I going to do what's best for my team or am I going to do what's best for me? Sounds harsh, but the film don't lie. Look at this right here. What are we doing? What are we doing, right? I ain't seen that one before. Run it back. I mean, I this is what's tough about watching tape, all right? And I try not to be that guy, but, this is good film to watch. So when I promise you they're saying this in the locker room, like, Omega, we got to get in here on this one. Yeah, I don't get this little push right here. You got to get in there and make a play, okay? Now, the thing is, as we make plays, look at Corey Robinson right here because after this, I still need more effort to the ball because in football, you never know what's going to happen. You have to be around it at all times. And I fell victim to this as well, okay? There's been plenty of times I played. I thought, okay, the play is all over. Oh, something crazy happened. And I wasn't where I needed to be, okay? So I'm only saying this to hope that we don't find ourselves in that situation down the road. Learn from my mistakes, please. I've been there before, and I hated going back and watching film. Corey Robinson right here, man, this dude was all over the place. A great shot on the ball, great hit, and then the ball comes out. I didn't even realize this in the game. He takes a good hit, and the ball comes out. It's a fumble. But if you go back and look, once again, this guy right here kind of, okay, plays over. Omega, okay, kind of plays over. We need to be surrounding that ball. You never know when it's going to pop out. We could have got it back as soon as we intercepted it. Okay, here's pick number 2. And this is another one where I'm still trying to figure out what do we got going on. Oh, thank you so much. Big shout out to the Mainline Sports Bar. Not only do they have incredible food, the meals I got, they make great drinks as well. So thank you so much. This interception right here, Taylon has to decide based off coverage. Remember what I said about the middle of the hash? You see that guy in the middle of the field? That's a big indicator of man-to-man coverage, okay? And you're going to get a little bit of that right now. He just has to decide who has this tight end man. He's going to run an out route. But as soon as we get right here, that's the indicator. Okay, safety goes back. And on that out route, this is the perfect leverage. You couldn't ask for better leverage of that guy guarding the tight end. I'll put a circle on him just in case you need to know where I'm at. He's inside leverage, and then the tight end's going to break out. I thought this was going to be an easy throw right here. Look at him right there. Get that ball to him. You're looking right at him, but he ends up throwing it behind him to this curl route, and I'm not sure why. This is another one I'm just very curious about. What are we looking at? Ends up throwing another interception right here. Now, I know some people may think, because I thought this at first too, you need C.J. Brown not to stop. He needs to keep running his route. You see him right here, and he kind of idles up. You want him to keep running his route, okay? But I don't think that's the case. I think he ran his route perfect. This curl route, what you want is for you to come downfield and come back to the ball. He's doing exactly what he's coached to do. Just a misplaced ball. I think the wrong decision right here, and I get decisions are tough, but just based off the pre-snap read, if I were Talon, I would have been thinking that out route to that tight end you see right there, wide open at the bottom of your screen. I would have been thinking that before the ball was even snapped. I get we still won 56-14. DJ, you're picking out all these little things. I do believe these things will come back to haunt you if we don't brush them up and figure them out, okay? But let's go ahead and move on right here. It's part of football. Great tape to learn from. Great tape to learn from, because then you get a play like this, okay? So Talon Green, sometimes he has me scratching my head, and then he has me like, wow, did y'all see that? Once we get the consistency out of this guy, this may sound wild. I really do believe he's in the conversation with the best in the entire country if he can be consistent. And that's high praise. I don't say that a lot. I haven't said that about a quarterback come through Arkansas in a long time. Okay, so you know it's man-to-man. You see the indicator, and this is what you have to kind of figure out. What's going to happen with these two guys? He wants to get to the middle of the field. And once the play develops, you see the guy in the middle drop off. Talon sees it. Now, if I'm being nitpicky, do I want that ball out just a little bit faster? Yes, but when you can throw like this in traffic where you put a ball only to where your receiver can get it, you get a little grace, okay? So great throw right here. Great catch in the back of the end zone. Hogs go up 35-14. This is a fun one. I wanted to talk about this, but I know Grant wants to talk about it. But Carmona, I know his family watches. I thought this was pretty special. I actually talked to Darren McFadden today. He was at the Touchdown Club, so we were sitting down and we were talking about this play. And I asked D-Mac, you know, how hard is it to teach someone, and how hard was it for you yourself, Darren, to be patient as a runner? He said, I didn't learn it until like my second year in the NFL. Darren was a guy who wanted to run as fast as possible all the time. Worked out pretty good for him. He's built different, okay? But he said this is really good learning tape. And Grant's going to elaborate it on a little bit more. But as we get there, you see Carmona. He just can't get that block. Mike Washington, this is tough. That you got to be a little patient. Let those blocks develop and let your big guys get out there so they can spring you free down the sideline. But that's tough. Carmona, I see you moving, though, big dog. I see you moving. Look at him right here. He said, hey, man, my bad, dog. I tried. Big shout out to you, Carmona. That was pretty fun. And how about this little tight end action? Look at this. Now, do I wish this ball was thrown out a little bit ahead of him so he doesn't have to jump and kind of slow down? I did not think that he was going to be able to turn this up for a touchdown, but Rohan Jones, he got a little gear to him. I didn't know he had this in the tank. Look at him turn it up right here. Breaks a little tackle, stays in bounds. My favorite part of this play. We just talked about, receivers being active and blocking and not being selfish. Look at Jaylen Brown right here. He's 20 yards down the field blocking this guy at the goal line. Sometimes players are like, oh, it won't matter. I'm so far away from the ball. End up being a touchdown springing block right here. Big shout out to you. That's awesome. I love seeing that on film. High school kids, I'm hoping y'all are seeing that right there. You got to be able to block as a receiver. Not sure what he's throwing up right there, but okay, it's cool. All right, let's get to another one right here. This is kind of the theme of getting that ball out early. Unless you can throw 80 yards, and I'm not aware of it, you had the right idea right here. So we've been hearing about Jaylen Brown. I think that's what they're trying to do right here. You see him at the top of the screen. We talk about how fast he is, but the way that this play develops, it's actually going to open up for Raylan Sharp. And you can see right now, if Talon gets this ball out right now, he can throw it to that spot and let Raylan run underneath it, but he's holding it just a smidge too long again. I mean, you got great protection. Look at the pocket. Looks great. Just get that ball out a little faster, and you have a great shot of getting this completion. Just holding on to it a little bit long. It needs to be a little further ahead right there. I think we make that play. Learning tape. All right, let's get to our Southwest Auto drive of the game. So everybody has an opportunity to vote on the drive of the game. Sunday morning, once you wake up, you just head to our website at KRK. Not KRK. That's just what's it called? Reflex right there, or whatever that's called. Head to 4th and 5AR.com. Once you're there, you're going to see a tab where you can vote for your Southwest Auto drive of the game. You can pick from 3 options. This is what our fans here at 4th and 5 figured out to be the drive of the game. It is the very last drive, 99 yards from second team. But there was, I'm actually very surprised that it happened, because look at the very first play. Got to be better with our pad level right here, okay? I think SEC drive of the game would have ended up very, very short with a little roadblock and a safety, but, we're able to get out of that end zone right there. You got to get your pads low, offensive lineman. But very next play, we get a little bit more. Let's keep this thing rolling. 3rd and 4 right here. What's on the menu? KJ Jackson does a great job getting it out to the tight end. And this is what I like. Coach Petrino will not let you run out of bounds. Don't you dare do it on Coach Petrino's watch, or you're going to hear from it, okay? Great job by this tight end. Boom! Letting that DB from A-State feel every ounce of that 265-pound frame. KJ Jackson, great concept right here. You got that receiver up top clearing out. You got your guy in the flat. This is kind of the same concept of what we missed earlier. We just didn't have time to do it. We go back to it because A-State was awful in the secondary. Coach Petrino dials it up perfect. Even this one, KJ, I like you. Let's get that ball out a little faster. That's a theme, right? You just got to trust it. That's all I'm saying right now. Just all you have to do is trust it. I think sometimes quarterbacks want to see it develop first, but when you see it develop, so does the defense, okay? You know what's coming. Get it there before it develops, so when it does, the ball's already there, defense too late. Great job, though. They threw it a little behind them. It's cool. We're still moving. Great job on this drive, 99 yards once again, Rohan Jones. And then you get here. We got to figure this out, okay? I think when you hop into the portal, I've kind of been talking about Big Shaq. And the reason I'm on him, because when you're 6'8", 360-plus pounds, man, you have so much potential, okay? We just got to get a dog in him, okay? That sounds harsh, but y'all know me. I like to call it like I see it. We have to get the dog out of this guy, because he should be mauling people all over the field. What I see right now is one of 2 things. 1, he doesn't have it in him, or 2, he doesn't know what he's doing, and he's thinking, and he's playing slow. I hope it's the second one, because we can work on that, okay? So take a look at this tape right here. That's just not going to do it. I mean, I don't understand it. It's almost goal line situation. You're at the 5-yard line. He needs to come off that line of scrimmage and put his face mask through that guy's sternum and blow him off the ball. He can. Look, he's huge. Just blow him off the ball right here. So that's one thing I really want to work on, especially when I heard how much money we got in the NIL to get you here. But once again, perfect coverage from the DBs, nowhere to go. Usually when that happens, you're a man down, and you got KJ Jackson doing a great job seeing where he needs to go. Caps off that drive, 99 yards at the end of the game. So that's a little breakdown. That's some things I saw on tape that I think Arkansas has a great opportunity to work on. I'll say my overall thoughts from this game. I was pleased. I really was. I know it seems like I just picked it apart and you would have thought Arkansas lost that game. That just goes to show we won 56-14 with so much room of improvement. And the things that we need to improve are very coachable, very fixable. And I'm telling you, this team, y'all, has an opportunity to be extremely dynamic. All right, there we go. Let's get to a quick second break. Got to show love to our sponsors, Oaklawn. Obviously our presenting sponsor. Very fun time hanging out with them. So far, 2 weeks in a row, we've been able to hang out. I don't know if y'all are going to Oxford, Zach, huh? We may have to Skype you in. We'll figure it out. Ooh, we'll talk about it. All right, let's go ahead and take a quick break here from sponsors. On the other side, we're actually going to talk a little bit more about Ole Miss. You want to know what's going on with them? Yeah, Ole Miss a little bit later. We're also going to have Zach Gillum join us. Let us know what's on the board at Oaklawn. Maybe make a little money. Razorbacks won me $100 this past weekend. That's right. We'll be right back.
Hey, Raj, what you doing here?
Well, it's football season. Thought I'd go ahead and dust off a few plays I've been thinking of.
It looks like you have 13 players here.
Well, that is innovation.
Most innovators can count to 11.
Well, that is a winning play. Just like the Oaklawn Sports app, I can bet anywhere in Arkansas right from my phone. Spreads, totals, player props, same-game parlays, and the most live in-game offerings all right here. Download Oaklawn Sports and bet all season long with the best sports betting app in Arkansas.
Hey y'all, this is Cam here at Southwest Ford in Arkadelphia. We just built our brand new 3 facilities here, our GMC. Dodge, and Ford facilities. If you're coming down the highway on I-30, take exit 78. We'll be a mile and a half down the road. You're gonna look on the right-hand side and you're gonna see our beautiful Chevrolet store. Right past that, you're gonna see our beautiful Dodge store. And at the end, you're gonna see our wonderful Ford store. Our 3 facilities here make it so easy for you to shop here. Whether it's online or in person, we have almost everything you want and need. And if we don't have it, we'll go out and get it for you. If you live somewhere far, north, east, south, or west, we will deliver to you. Free delivery across the whole state. Please come down and come see me at Southwest Auto Ford in Arkadelphia.
Hey, you're not in high school anymore, but that knee still remembers that state championship. And that shoulder, well, it's been off since that game-winning drive. At Ortho Arkansas, they see it all the time. Old injuries that never fully healed, finally sneaking up on us. But here's the good news. It's never too late to get back into the things you love. Whether it's running, lifting, coaching, or just keeping up with your kids, their sports medicine team is there to help you move forward without pain holding you back. Fellowship-trained physicians, personalized recovery plans, care that's built around your goals. Because once an athlete, always an athlete. Ortho Arkansas, for plays that still matter.
Hello, I'm Claire, the Community Engagement Director at the Arkansas Food Bank, and I am so excited to talk to you about Central Arkansas Restaurant Week. Central Arkansas Restaurant Week will take place September 5th through the 12th, and it falls within Hunger Action Month, which in the world of hunger relief means we're encouraging the public to take action and help their neighbors in need. We are thrilled to partner with the restaurant industry and encouraging the public to eat local to fight hunger. Over 50 restaurants have signed up to participate in Central Arkansas Restaurant Week this year. We have restaurants in Little Rock, North Little Rock, Benton, Bryant, Pine Bluff, Hot Springs, Conway, and more. You can check out which restaurants have signed up at carw.arkansasfoodbank.org. On that website, all of their menus will be featured along with their hours and their addresses. Here are a few simple ways for you to get involved in Central Arkansas Restaurant Week. If you have a meeting during September 5th through September 12th, consider having it at a Restaurant Week location. Are you looking for a fun date night or girls' night out spot? Consider a Restaurant Week location. If you're going to the Razorback football game and are looking for a place to eat after, consider a Restaurant Week location. The Arkansas Food Bank is honored to partner with the restaurant industry for this event. Join us in eating local and fighting hunger this September at Central Arkansas Restaurant Week.
All right, welcome back in. Oh, let me spread us out a little bit. I got you. Don't worry. Joined by Zach Gillum over here at Oaklawn Sports. Zach, very excited. First of all, it was fun hanging out in Little Rock. Did you enjoy the atmosphere?
That was wonderful.
Wonderful, huh?
A lot of fun. You know, a lot of people there. In fact, you could barely get a cell signal out. I appreciate you dropping me the pin.
Yes, it's tough, man. Yeah, it would have been tough. Cell signal was something else. They got to figure that out moving forward. Like I said, when ESPN has technical difficulties, that's when you know it's rough. All right, Zach, let's go and take a look at what's on the board. So early in the week when it opened up, that Arkansas was a 21.5-point favorite. I was a little slow. I hopped on it at 23.5. I've been saying all week Arkansas is going to win by 40 plus, okay? And I knew it. So I put $100 on the game, all right? Got a nice little payday. Appreciate you, A-State, for coming on by. Let's go and take a look at what – now, it's not the case this week, okay? Down to Oxford, not the favorite by any means. What's on the board ahead of the Ole Miss-Arkansas game?
Yeah, but you brought up a great point. So, I mean, last week, if you jumped on that line early, you got 21.5. It did not matter in the end. They covered the 23.5 as well. But this week was the same. Right now, we're showing +9. As I was sitting on the couch over here, the game has moved now. Arkansas, 8-point dog. So you're getting 8 points instead of the 9. Total in it, it's still at 62.
Okay, so once again, that changes because action that happens on the team, and is it an indicator of like what do they know that we don't know, or
there's so many variables that go into that. Action is obviously the most important. That's what books do. They're trying to balance that action, but there's other things. It could be weather-related news, player-related news. If somebody's not starting, not playing that game, it could drastically affect what that line's going to be.
Okay, let's get to it. Oh my gosh, can I pull up a comment real quick? Okay, look at this one. We got a comment from where did it go? Landon wants to know, hey DJ, when you were still on the Packers, how would you block Myles Garrett? The answer to that question is I wouldn't. He's different. He's different. I would put my hand in the dirt and I would look up and I'd be like, why am I over here right now? That guy makes $20 million a year, probably more than that right now. That's pretty funny. So, Landon, I appreciate that. You know what that is? If I end up needing to block somebody like Myles Garrett one-on-one, that's called bad coaching, okay? You can't, don't put me in a situation to fail. And that's not me even saying, some people always say, man, if you believe it, you can do it. NFL, you learn real quick that's not the case, okay?
Yeah, some guys are built different, but I think you're selling yourself a little short. But to your point, maybe,
I'm not.
maybe don't set it up one-on-one. Right?
Yeah. Can you pull that mic a little bit more up to that? There you go. There it is.
Go.
Oh, we're locked in now.
We working now?
We are in it. All right, Philip, thanks for the comment, but let's get back to it. Yeah, I would not. If you want to over-under on me blocking Myles Garrett, take the – I don't know how to say that. I'm still working on
make a bet on getting you up. Is that what we're
Yes. Yeah, 100%. All right, let's go and take a look at what else is on the board. Monday Night Football, Vikings and the Bears. Football is back, the first one of the week. I don't know if this is move. I made this early this morning. Has anything changed since one or the spread at 1-1?
Yes, it has changed just a bit, not much. It's pretty much a pick 'em now. You have the Vikings as a half-point favorite. If you're looking at the money line, the Vikings are -112, the Bears -109. So you can see that change just a little bit, moving that spread a hook. The total is still at 43.5, and then there are a plethora of player props on the board.
Yeah, so let's go ahead and take a look at some of these player props. If you're a big fan of either one of these teams, right now you can actually put a bet on who you think will score the first touchdown tonight, okay? You got the numbers on the board. Aaron Jones, Jordan Jefferson, Jordan Mason, TJ Hawkinson, Adam Thielen, they're all over the place. So when it comes to these numbers, is that most likely who is going to score the first touchdown?
Yeah, so typically you're going to see that post with most likely who is going to be the one to score a touchdown or score the first touchdown. You're going to see those odds drastically move around based on action that you're receiving.
Yeah.
But right now what's interesting is both teams, the anytime touchdown score for all players is plus money.
Wow.
That's not always the case. If you saw Derrick Henry last night, I think he was -200, -250, and then, scored a couple there and maybe could have had a third. But, these anytime touchdown scoring props are a lot of fun. You can parlay them together. And just a little tip, if you take a touchdown score from either team, it's actually going to kind of boost those odds up.
Yeah. All right, here we go. What else is on the board when it comes to Monday Night Football? You got the quarterback matchup right now. Over or under passing yards. Right now, Caleb Williams, 216.5 yards. Will he throw over or under? The same thing with JJ. And here go the numbers on that. Like I said, this is just fun to think about because you really don't know. When I think 216, I'm thinking they should get that, right?
It's amazing too how good they are at picking up these numbers, and they've shifted just a bit since this morning or this afternoon when you created the graphic. In fact, I watched them shifting around as I was sitting on the couch. Right now, Caleb Williams at 218.5.
Ooh.
You have JJ McCarthy at 213.5. And then keep in mind, we also have what we call the ladder options. So you can take 175 plus, 200 plus, 225 plus, and you're going to see those odds grow as you take more yardage.
Okay, let's go and take a look at one more right here. What else is on the board? Usually you got the pass, and then you got receiving yards. Adam Thielen, you got Colston Loveland, you got the superstar Jordan Jefferson. Obviously, he's going to have the most right there. Go ahead and explain this to the folks at home.
Yeah, so this is going to be the receiving yards for these individual players. You're going to look at the box score, the stats. Right now, honestly, football has become so good. Leaning into fantasy, leaning into these player props, you'll probably see him keep up with it for you during the game. But Thielen's line has moved just a bit. He's down to 28.5. So from 33.5 down to 28.5.
Yep.
That's why we talk about how it is so important to bet when you think the number's right.
Mm-hmm.
Not always right on that, but as you saw, if you had bet earlier today, I would probably say go ahead and get some more, because if you thought Thielen was going over 33.5, you definitely think he's going over 28.5. Jefferson has moved up just a bit. He's at 78.5 now.
All right. Let's go ahead and I don't have enough for anything, but any other interesting things on the board right now?
Yeah, so there's a lot going on. So when that game starts, you're still going to have in-game wagering available. So you're going to be able to bet on the spread, the money line, the total. Those are those main three markets. But you'll also see player props stay on the board. You're going to see totals, team totals. Something that's a lot of fun is next play, next drive, next series. So you can do things that keep you active in the game. We talk about it a lot. The minimum bet's $1.
That's
so
it.
I mean, this is something
Come
you
on,
can do
we
to
can do
have
that.
fun. You don't have to break the piggy bank. You get to add to that entertainment value, which is really the point of all of this anyway. Have more fun. And all the games on the board for the next week. So Packers and Commanders are your Thursday night game right now. Packers a 3.5-point favorite after a beatdown over the weekend against the Lions, which I know I didn't quite expect. I thought they'd get the win,
me
but
neither.
almost 2 touchdowns. That was a big one. And then Cowboys fans, they didn't get the win, but I feel like they played very well last week against the Eagles. Weather kind of threw a snafu in that game to me and kind of, took everybody's momentum away. But the Cowboys are 6-point favorites over the Giants next week. And then the Eagles and Chiefs, that's a Sunday afternoon game everyone will be tuning into. Right now, the Eagles a 1-point favorite in that one. And then some college football games that are on the board, a couple top 20 games that I think are going to have some interest. A&M and Notre Dame, 2 teams that Arkansas will face this season right now.
Where's that game?
That is at Notre Dame.
Okay.
Yeah, so they will be headed up to Notre Dame for that one, and I believe it's a night game, so it's a 6:30 game. And right now, Notre Dame's favored by a touchdown in that one. So pretty big favorite. And then you also have LSU and Florida. LSU right now an 8-point favorite. So these are top 20 matchups, but you're seeing touchdown spreads. So that's going to be really interesting. Maybe indicates that Florida, after last week, they were 18.5-point favorites, lost outright to South Florida, which is the other game I wanted to mention. South Florida still not getting any love. They beat Boise State, who was ranked at the time. They beat Florida last week, who was ranked at the time. And now they're taking on Miami. They are headed to Miami. Not too far for them, but they are 17.5-point dogs.
They take that spread on that one, right?
I'm
Zach, you're on to something.
I'm going to have to take a little piece of that one, whether I'm right or wrong. And then Arkansas State, again, it was a lot of fun to go to that game. They are going to have a very tough matchup, but we have Iowa State, Power 4 team, coming to Jonesboro. Arizona State a 3-touchdown dog, excuse me.
Yeah, that's awesome. Real quick, people want to be a part of the action. Zach, tell them how they can get the app.
Yeah, so the app is available in the Apple App Store, Google Play Store. Desktop users, very easy. Just install the plugin. You can join in the fun. We have $1,000 in bonus bets available for new users. It's very easy. No promo code is required. All you do is register, make your first deposit. You're active in that, so that is your day one of a 10-day promotion. Also, Profit Boost. We have those going on daily. You can do them on any sport, Major League Baseball, NCAA football, NFL. Just depends on what's going on that day.
All right, Zach, appreciate you. We're going to take one more quick little break. I want to brag about Oaklawn once again. They got more than just the casino, all that stuff. They got some nice resorts, good dining options, good little stay. So we're going to, after that, I'm going to show you this commercial. When we come back, we got to dig into the tape, Ole Miss, okay? A lot of people think Ole Miss is going to handle Arkansas, okay? The tape shows something else. Y'all will be shocked. Jackson Dart ain't at Ole Miss no more, and it shows, man, in a very big way. A lot of opportunities on the field for the Razorbacks come Saturday. See if they can tap into a little bit of what Kentucky had going on. We're going to have that and more when 4th and 5 returns.
Welcome to Oaklawn, where every arrival marks the beginning of a memorable stay. From the moment you walk through our doors, Oaklawn's dedicated team is committed to exceeding your expectations. Our concierge is ready to welcome you by tailoring your ideal escape. With 2 restaurants on site, we can reserve your table to experience fine dining without ever having to leave the resort. The Bugler offers a culinary experience featuring an array of American cuisine and overlooks Oaklawn's legendary thoroughbred racetrack. Oaklawn has served as a destination for horse enthusiasts for generations, offering you the experience to witness the thrill from December through May. The live action at Oaklawn spans from betting on thoroughbreds to spinning reels and rolling dice in the casino. Your modern fine dining experience awaits at the Oak Room and Bar with highly composed plates located inside the casino. With a depth of flavors to leave your palate craving more, accompanied by some of the most unique cocktails and extensive wine lists in the region, your dining indulgence doesn't end with the Oak Room. Our concierge can provide recommendations on a variety of local restaurants. The elegantly appointed lounge of the First Turn Bar is the perfect setting to wrap up your day of adventure. Discover the charm of hot springs and check into Oaklawn, your ultimate destination.
Razorbacks, Red Wolves, families divided, but united in our love for Arkansas. At Ortho Arkansas, we are proud to care for all Arkansans. Whether you're chasing kids in the backyard, cheering from the tailgate, or competing on the field, our orthopedic experts are here when you need us most. Because no matter your team, we're all on the same side of health. Ortho Arkansas, with you every step.
Here we go. Welcome back in to 4th and 5. About to wrap it up. Take a look at some Ole Miss tape. I'm going to show you some things that make you feel good about the matchup. All right. So let's go ahead and dig into it. I got to get this pulled up for you, though, because we switched how we were doing this thing. So let me open this up. Stand by 1 second. Let me bring over the tape real quick for you. How about that right there? Let's share this. Boom, let's rock and roll. Okay, there we go. Work through it. And once again, sorry for the ticker. I noticed that that's kind of been off all day long. But let's go ahead and get into the tape. Let's look at Ole Miss, y'all. A lot of things that I saw to be very, very encouraged about. So let's make this a little bit bigger for everybody at home. There we go. Now, I will say this. Ole Miss ain't no slouch, okay? So there's going to be some stuff I show you where you're like, ooh, we got to be careful. One thing they have is they got a lot of talented receivers, okay, that they want to get the ball to quickly, especially in space. Sometimes I've seen this with Arkansas. We back up a lot, give them space. This year, we've been pressing a lot, okay? I've been loving what we did to Corey Rucker at A-State. Guy didn't get anything all game long. So if we can keep that physicality, that's going to be huge, because if we give space like this, look at this at the bottom of your screen. These three guys right here, they are fast and they're playmakers. That's way too much space for a guy like this. The quarterback sees it. As soon as he gets the ball out quick. And usually when that happens, that's too much room to try to tackle these guys. Does a great job extending this play, turn it upfield. Just something we have to be aware of as a secondary. You can see it once again. Quarterback is going to pick on it all day long. He's going to say, if you give my guys that much space, we're going to take advantage of it. Now, why are they giving that much space? Because then when you press, they're very hard to cover in man-to-man coverage. So it's almost like pick your poison. And so I would say at first, I'd like Arkansas to say, okay, let's see if you really got it. Tighten that window up a little bit. Let's play some press man and see what happens, all right? We paid a lot of money in the portal to get some DBs, big, strong, physical. This is the week where it needs to show up. But once again, too much space. Get that ball into their hands. They're going to turn it up for a first down every single time, okay? However, some stuff popped up on tape that was interesting. You see this guy right here, okay? He's not going to end up throwing it to this guy. I'll show you why here in just a second. This is 3rd and 6. Jackson Dart, like I said, was a very special talent last year. Ole Miss is missing him in a major way, okay? When I break this play down, I think Jackson Dart sees this and he gets the ball out. The quarterback they got right now is struggling a little bit with making decisions, which is good news for Arkansas, okay? I know everybody's like, Lane Kiffin, yeah. He can call the perfect play, but if the quarterback can't get it to him, this is why he didn't throw to that tight end. But this play design should be an easy throw and catch. Look how this window opens up. As soon as those two guys take the tight end, this is how Lane Kiffin draws it up. Why are we holding this ball right here? I don't know why. I'm gonna treat him just like I'm talking to Talon. Get the ball out. You're looking right at it. Nothing's keeping you from not throwing this ball. And so what I see when stuff like this happen is just a quarterback that's not very confident. He saw his first option not available, and then it's like, where do I go next? Because Kentucky was playing this game. They were making it very, very competitive. He ends up not throwing it, and then ends up just trying to run with it. I don't understand why. And then you get to this play right here. Ends up being an interception. I'm going to show you a little different angle here in just a little bit. Quarterback just making bad throws. Now, this is a little bit on the quarterback and a little bit on this receiver, okay? So you're going to see this receiver right here. Awful angle, okay? So he's going to run this very flat. You can't do that, okay? You're not giving yourself any space to throw this ball. He needs to be taking this angle way up high. When he does that, then the quarterback has an opportunity to throw this ball deep and away from this guy over here sitting guarding this flat, okay? As soon as this receiver does not run that way, then the quarterback has to say, okay, I have to come off of that. All right, so he does not. He doesn't throw to that spot. He ends up throwing right to where that DB is, and it's a pick. Let's go back for a second, okay? Why is this game extra special for Razorbacks? Because we had a few guys that were Razorbacks last year, okay? Let me go ahead and highlight my guy right here. You're going to have to excuse me for some graphics that pop up. Y'all know who that is, right? Y'all remember last year when an offensive lineman was talking to Coach Pittman, and he says, hey, Coach, I want my red shirt, and don't think I'm going to leave. I'm going to be a Razorback. Coach Pittman gave him his red shirt, and then he hopped into the portal. I was like, what are we doing? We had Carmona on the show, and he was talking about it. He said it hurt. Patrick Kudus showing up on tape, not doing good. Come on, Patrick Kudus. I can't wait to see the matchup between the former Razorbacks going head-to-head with each other, okay? Patrick Kudus and Cam Ball, that's going to be fun to watch. We got our receivers. There really isn't any beef there because we got all new receivers. Maybe C.J. Brown, Jalen Braxton, that should be fun to watch. And I think Luke is still dealing with some injuries. So, once again, just bad angle, bad decision by the quarterback. That ball should have never been thrown. He's going to give us opportunities to make some big plays in the secondary. We just have to take advantage of them. Let's get to another one right here. Once again, another interception. Bad protection up front. This quarterback, y'all, he'll give it to us. Look at this up front. We're going to have opportunities to not have to bring a lot of pressure and still beat these offensive linemen. I'm not going to say Kentucky is a slouch, but I wouldn't say they're the best team in the country. And look how these defensive linemen are handling this. Look at this. Poor protection. This quarterback should be leading this receiver. That DB in the secondary is not even staring that way. They're doubling this receiver down low. This should be an easy throw and catch for a first down. But pocket awareness. How many times have we seen Talon? I'll give Talon this credit. He can sense when pressure's coming in the pocket, and he doesn't throw this ball, okay? This quarterback got the blinders on right now, okay? So we got an opportunity to really do some special stuff in the pocket. He ends up trying to throw this, takes a hit, ends up giving an interception. And so, but another thing, too, we have to be aware of this. I mean, I'm showing a couple bad plays, but Ole Miss has some good ones in there, too, okay? I'm not trying to, fool anyone. Ole Miss is the real deal, okay? But they do have a couple pieces in their armor that we can take advantage of. And so right here, great double team. But watch this offensive lineman get up to that backer right there. Perfectly blocked play. And you got a quarterback who can do a little something with his legs. And so when he gets going, I'll say this, and settles in, he's not a bad quarterback. He's still not Jackson Dart. This running back, too, watch this. This is great in pass protection. He's a good run blocker as well. You got to like that physicality. And quarterback right here, you got plenty of space. But this is what happens when you start getting a lot of pressure. He's not stepping into his throws right here. I mean, he's been hit in the chin a couple times. It gets in your head. That's how important it's going to be for our defensive linemen to set the tone early and get in this guy's head. Throwing, off his back foot, real lazy, and he's just laying it up right now. Underthrown ball. That receiver had that DB beat. He should have thrown this 10 yards deeper for an easy completion and a touchdown. DB's got the opportunity to make plays on balls like this. The receiver for Ole Miss ends up coming down. Not sure what's happening right here. This is their tight end. A lot of confusion up front, but where are we at right now? Oh, we're switching sides. No, that's still Ole Miss. We have opportunities once again to take advantage, but when they pop up, you got to make them happen right here, okay? You're going to see this happen a lot when we play Ole Miss, and it's already happened to Arkansas so far. We've gotten to the backfield. You just have to make the play when it presents itself, okay? What I'm showing right now, Ole Miss struggling, y'all. It's not the team that we saw last year. All right, let's go and get to the other side of the ball, okay? Ole Miss, they got a lot of athletes on that defensive line. They're not the guys last year, okay? Last year was a different breed. Now, it's not too far off from this year. But these guys, they just want to run 1,000 miles an hour. The screen game is going to be big. Coach Pertino is going to – look at this guy. Zero awareness. Still running. Has no idea they're letting him go free because they want to set up a screen behind him. You have to have some kind of awareness as a defender and see that coming from a mile away. You better believe Coach Petrino is going to have packages. Now, this is another thing that scares me. Look at all that penetration. We're going to see how good our offensive line is. They've been doing really good these 2 weeks. Ole Miss a different ball game. I don't know how this guy from Kentucky got around this edge. He must be stupid crazy fast, but that'll be tough for us moving forward, not getting tackled in the backfield. Another one right here, just a lot of penetration, but somehow found that gap. I think they just called into the right play. You see Ole Miss has a stunt going. I think Ole Miss has a lot of indicators that Coach Petrino is going to find out, and he's going to run the perfect play into the stunt that Ole Miss is trying to do. Great job pulling around. Great job by the running back seeing. And I think Mike and Braylon Russell have this type of vision to be patient and let those blocks roll out. We got tape to learn from last week. I think Mike gets it figured out. Another situation right here. We're like I said, we've froze the frame when Talon Green throws, right? The pocket's huge. It's going to be a lot tighter when we play against Ole Miss. Okay, so Talon, those those times that we take a long time to make a decision, we got to speed that time clock up a lot. Another one right here, opportunities to get into the backfield. Ole Miss is going to be all over the place. We cannot afford to have missed blocks. This is for my tight ends, okay? You're going to see some real dudes this week. So Platt, Rohan Jones, Pushka, I think I'm saying that right. It's going to be really important for y'all to be involved in the running game and set the edge. If y'all can do that, we'll be able to establish a running game and run not just inside but outside as well. This running back from Kentucky ran really, really hard. And this is an interesting one right here too. And you better believe Coach Petrino's looking at this, okay? So think about Ole Miss too. They're cocky. And you know how they were last year. Remember that dunk contest they had on the sideline when they played us last year? I do. Still makes me mad. They're very, very cocky. This blitz is coming, and watch this. Coach Petrino is going to see this. The secondary are not disciplined with their eyes, okay? They track the quarterback too much because they want interceptions. They're going for the pick all the time. What happens when you see DBs that do that? You hit them with a double move, and that's exactly what Kentucky saw on tape. Then they took advantage of it. And it's 2nd and 1. So when y'all watch the game and it's 2nd and 1, 2nd and 3, 3rd and 1, they're going to jump those short routes because they're going to be guarding the sticks. Opportunities for some big-time plays. Look right here. All the quarterback has to do is give a little pump because this DB is looking right at him. He just pat the ball a little bit. The receiver looks back, and this DB starts running 1,000 miles an hour. Quick and easy double move, throw and catch. You're going to see Coach Petrino try this early. So when it comes to big shots, I think a lot of coaches do this. If there's any change of possession, say a turnover, a fumble, offense gets the ball, everybody put your popcorn down and pay attention because Coach Petrino is going to go ahead and throw a big-time shot. So what I saw on film, y'all, before I saw that, I would have said Arkansas is going to have a tough time on the road. Now, from what I've seen from both teams after 2 weeks, I told this, anybody who gives prediction of what's going to happen throughout the year before the year starts, I don't know if you can do that anymore just because there's so many moving pieces. You got so many different players. You have no idea who's going to start and who's not, and who's good and who's not. But we've seen enough now on tape to say that before the season started, I don't know if I gave Arkansas a big-time chance in this game. From what I've seen, if they take care of business, they can go down on the road and beat Ole Miss in Oxford. And, boy, would that not be a momentum changer for the year. So I'm very excited for it. I know a lot of fans are excited for it. I see a lot of people right now, Alex Shirley saying, winnable game? I'm trying to tell you, Alex, it's winnable. I know you're out here somewhere. There it is. I mean, the tape says it, okay? And then get him, DJ. Kudus is in the house. Y'all having a good time. I said the chat right now is doing so good. Thanks y'all for being a part of the show. And I also want to say this, man. We've been sitting back and watching the activity on our show. It's been special, man. And we really do appreciate the support. It's been awesome. So every time y'all comment, every time y'all like our videos, every time y'all just simply watch, we see it all. And it's allowing us to do more and more with 4th and 5. I don't know if y'all know, but I'm a news anchor at KRK4 Today, and it's actually my last week on KRK4 Today because this thing has gotten to a point where it forced me to have a decision, okay? And it got so big where my bosses at KRK were saying, DJ, you got to tighten up a little bit. And I really do believe in this product. And the reason I believe in it is because of all of our subscribers and our fans and the people who just keep watching. So we really appreciate y'all. Y'all are opening up a lot of opportunities and windows for us to continue to do this each and every week. So I just wanted to take a second to thank y'all. But like I said, we got to keep moving. All right, we got to keep moving. What we got coming up? All right. Oh, y'all ain't got to clap. We still got a whole season to get through. All right, let's see how this thing turns out first. Okay. I appreciate it. I'm just kidding. Y'all can clap all you want. Makes me feel good. We got our high school game of the week. We've been doing a great job with those. So coming up later on this week, we're going to be at Greenbrier, number 20 Greenbrier. They're playing Van Buren. Greenbrier 2-0. They got a guy named Enoch Asan, okay? And I'm trying to figure out, this is our goal with 4th and 5. We're trying to find the talent that sometimes gets a little bit overlooked, okay? This dude from Greenbrier, through the 2 games, he's averaging over 220 rushing yards a game. I was like, what are we doing? I look at his tape, 2,000-yard rusher last year. I was like, why is nobody talking about this guy? Well, he's 5'8", okay? And so I was like, I got to see this guy in person because I don't want size to make sure that people go overlooked. So we're going to do our job at 4th and 5 and highlight him in person. But Van Buren, they got a guy, Austin Riggs, who's a receiver that's not getting a lot of attention. And I've watched some tape. Dude's pretty good. So we're going to be live on the field Friday night at Greenbrier ahead of our game of the week. Also coming up, we're going to be on the road. So if you want to travel down to Oxford, we're going to be, having a great time at the good old Velvet Ditch Sports Bar. Look at that. We're going to be set up right outside 2 hours before kickoff. And we're going to have an hour and 15-minute show, just enough time for you to walk on over to the stadium and watch the Razorbacks compete against those Ole Miss Rebels in Oxford. So very excited for that. Once again, that show will start at 4 p.m. in Oxford. Very excited, and thanks to our folks down there who want some Razorback fans to come hang out at their sports bar. I think that's going to be pretty cool. I appreciate y'all for watching 4th and 5, but Monday Night Football starts in 5 minutes. All right, you got the Vikings. You got the Bears. It's not too late to head on over to Oaklawn Sports right now. Place your bets. Make a little something. I don't know. I'm going with the Vikings on this one. We'll figure it out. Appreciate y'all watching 4th and 5. We'll see y'all Tuesday night with Let Grant Cook. Y'all have a great night.